right after they said, I saw him, I'm, 99.99% sure that it was him.
Now it's worth noting that at the beginning of the 911 call, he says Brian Lauer, right? So the name isn't right. So that's going to make some folks online wonder, Masa, if this person making this 911 call is in fact really up to speed on this story. Again, I think everyone around or across the country, really around the world, knows Brian Laundrie's name, and they start by making the 911 call. We'll play the 911 call here for you in a couple of minutes. We're letting the rest of our YouTube audience here kind of fill into the chat here, but to say Brian Lauer, but then say 99.9% sure that it was in fact Brian Laundrie, there's a little bit of a contradiction there.
And again, I want to just reaffirm the sheriff's office says they immediately dispatched 2 deputies. They thoroughly investigated this, and they said to no avail. They did not find Brian Laundrie, but they say that they're going to continue to look. But yeah, I mean, this happened at nightfall. So it would have been dark because it's, from midnight onward that this man says that he had this conversation with somebody who appeared to be Brian Laundrie in his pickup truck. So certainly, that would be one thing that you would take into consideration, the amount of light available when they had this conversation. But he did immediately, he says he pulled over, he stopped his truck, and he thought maybe that had been the guy. And he says he looked up pictures of Brian Laundrie, and that's when he claims that he was 99.99% sure. And he said that the guy was talking wild, talking about his girlfriend.
Something about California, right?
Yeah, yep. Heading to California. He was trying to take the back roads to California. It was about a 4-minute 911 call that we just received, that I just listened to. And yeah, dispatch, taking that information from him.
We'll play it back here for our audience here in just a moment, but Masa, I'll just express what I think about the 911 call and just about the Appalachian Trail potential sighting there. And we have the information for you. It's on WFLA.com. It's an article, Brian Laundrie allegedly spotted by hiker near Appalachian Trail. I'm just not all that optimistic. Again, it's not as if Brian Laundrie has this extremely unique physical description or character, or these, this set of characteristics that make him easily identifiable. How many hikers on the Appalachian Trail, or just how many hikers or outdoorsmen in general, are going to have a pretty similar description to Brian Laundrie here? We've had potential sightings that have been quickly disproven over the last several weeks, and while this man again says that he's 99% sure, I would imagine that there were some others out there. How about the sighting in Canada that we were talking about, a couple of weeks ago, the potential sighting in Canada, and that was quickly disproven. It's just everyone is on edge here, I think, with this story, and there's just so many.
Just remember, guys, you heard it here first yesterday that I didn't believe that guy. He's full of shit, and I'm glad that others are seeing it too. So there you go. And great, it doesn't work for me like it does others. Other people run channels, run the news, and they're getting 100,000 views. I run the news, I get 100. So yeah, they don't care about little old me.
Many people who want him to be found that it's almost like you're willing it into your eyesight to be true.
Yeah, and again, the Haywood County Sheriff's Office says that they thoroughly investigated this tip and nothing came of this tip, but they also had 10 other calls in recent days of people thinking they spotted him. A lot of media coverage, a lot of news coverage, and people certainly on the lookout to try to find Brian Laundrie here.
For those of you just joining us here, we've got this video here in the center of your screen. This is from Eagle 8 HD, a scaled down search here today at the Carlton Reserve, deeper into Carlton Reserve near Myakka River State Park here, Masa, but not as large as what we've seen in recent weeks. A scaled down effort is the search effort here at the Carlton Reserve. You can see there, right there, Paul zooming in here on a canine that is at the front of this airboat here as they continue to keep their eyes peeled for Brian Laundrie here. So the search presses on here, but Masa, we're entering yet another week here, starting another week here, and people are just clamoring for developments, clamoring for updates. I think that's perhaps why so many folks have been really latched on to this hiker story, because right now, where we are in this particular 24-hour news cycle, this is really all we have right now to talk about, or we'll have more to talk about here in a few minutes as far as what TikTok has organized here over the Laundrie house here. More on that in just a second. But Masa just speaks to how many people out there just really want there to be developments in this story as we continue to go now several days into the month of October.
Yeah, tomorrow marks exactly 3 weeks since Brian Laundrie's parents say they last saw him, since he allegedly went into the swamp area that you're looking at right here, where we believe law enforcement is searching that video from earlier, taken from earlier today. So yeah, exactly 3 weeks, according to the parents, since they saw Brian Laundrie. No answers from law enforcement. They haven't told us of any credible sightings that they've had yet. The FBI being very quiet with their investigation, as they usually are, but people definitely.
And I still go back to, please tell me how a 23-year-old kid can be gone for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And the FBI is so focused on this one area that they're not even looking at the other parts of the world. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. And I can't grasp it. They are so focused in this area.
Thirsty to have justice out there for Gabby, and obviously many believe that the key to that is finding where Brian Laundrie is. Gabby's mom tweeting this weekend, I know you saw this, JB, that she's getting angry, that she wants him to turn himself in. The Gabby Petito Foundation, Twitter being launched this weekend. So people want justice for Gabby, and the search for Brian continues.
Masa, before we let you go, a couple of our commenters here on YouTube. Hello there to our YouTube audience, commenting that hasn't just been the single sighting here again by Dennis Davis. That there have been other calls, as you just found out. What was it? 10 others?
10 other, not just this weekend. She didn't give me the exact the days, but she said in recent days, 10 total calls of sightings and people thinking that they ran into Brian Laundrie.
What are you working on for tonight? For our audience here, folks, you can watch our WFLA newscast, and Moss is going to be in our 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. That's your
See, Bless, I disagree with that. They are looking for him. They do not know where he is. Building a case in this area, there's nothing to build. He didn't kill her here. If he killed her here, that's one thing, but he didn't kill her here. So no, I disagree with that totally. I don't think they know where he is. They are putting a lot of money and manpower to finding it, though.
NBC station here in Tampa Bay, Florida, WFLA News Channel 8 on your side. Masa, what are folks going to see in the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock newscast that they can also watch on our website and on our app?
At 5 o'clock, we're going to be just focused in on what the family is saying right now and the search that's happening here in Florida. At 6 o'clock, we're going to play that 911 video for you, which I believe JB is also going to play for you. He's not going to make you wait for that. And talk about just some of the sightings of Brian Laundrie and how each and every single one of those gets investigated as law enforcement tries to piece together a timeline, tries to solve this puzzle, this horrible case, this mystery that's happened here, JB.
Masa Saidi, you'll see her tonight, folks, on WFLA News Channel 8. Thanks a whole lot, Masa. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, back here with you live on WFLA now. So let's kind of...
All right, let me just answer a couple questions. The FBI has nothing to do with Dog. Dog is using his own people, his own bounty hunters, his own everything. The FBI thinks Dog is an idiot and has nothing to do with it. Say that, they already looked where he is, doesn't matter. So that's completely separate. And I agree, they look like fools. They want to find him. Hey, Jamie, wonder if they think he's in the reserve during the day and going somewhere else at night. I don't know. But they're spending an awful lot of time in this area. They are convinced he's here. I can't figure out why. JB is cute in a dorky kind of way. He's not like someone I would say, wow, you're so hot. He's very Italian dorky is the best way I can put it. I don't know, Freaking the Sheets. I just turned it on.
Break down what we're going to be having here for you over the next few minutes here, or the next half hour or so here, everybody, on WFLA Now. First and foremost, now, you might have seen some of the traction if you're on TikTok, and not everyone is on TikTok. But for those on TikTok, you might have seen an effort get underway here with a TikToker by the name of Justin Shepard. He goes by Justin on TikTok. And he and I spoke a little bit earlier on today. And the reason that he and I spoke was because he has been at he's been organizing, as he put it, or really just organizing a effort here to to send a message to the Laundrie family from TikTok. Now, how this kind of came to be, and I'll explain this here for you folks, is that so many in the TikTok community have been talking about Gabby Petito, been talking about Brian Laundrie, and in a video that Justin had, they were talking about a banner plane, and that came up, and then all of a sudden, as he told me on the phone earlier today, he said that there were all of a sudden Venmo donations just continued to pour in, and before you knew it, there was a effort underway to get a banner plane in the air. So now everyone online on social media, with how few developments that there have been today, now gravitating towards this banner plane getting up in the air. We have, of course, we'll show you here from photojournalist Justin Rogers here. This is a live picture from outside of the Laundrie home there in Northport. I did get an update from Justin there on TikTok, and he passed along to me that they are running about 10 to 15 minutes behind, about to take off, but it's about 10 to 15 minutes behind. So in perhaps the next 5 or so minutes, maybe 10, there might be a banner plane with a message directly from TikTok to the Laundrie family here out at the home in Northport. And you can see there that Justin, who's listening in here on WFLA Now, kind of just showing us the sky here, kind of panning up here. As soon as we see that plane, if that plane does actually arrive here, we'll show it here to you. But this is a live feed from right now outside of the Laundrie home. What we're also going to do is we're going to play the 911 call here for you folks, and we're also going to hear from Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison, who filed a report a short time ago. So let's talk about here, folks. This is an airboat with a canine on it. This is far smaller than the search efforts that we have had here at the Carlton Reserve, but this is actually considerably farther northeast into Carlton Reserve. Really, I mean, right there at Myakka River State Park. And so there's no line that you're going to see, imaginary line that they kind of cross over from one area into the other, Carlton Reserve into Myakka River State Park. But there you see the search efforts ongoing here today. Again, the vast wilderness. The good news is that even though you can see that they are going here, with the airboat, the good news is that the water has receded considerably here. Conditions for a search are way more optimal now than they were 2 weeks ago when we were getting just battered with rain here in the Tampa Bay area. So the search is smaller, but conditions more conducive for a search here at the Carlton Reserve, and really just hoping here that that we have just searches to talk about here, because once if the search is to come to a conclusion here, then of course we have people asking, okay, if they're not searching here, then where are they searching? If the search isn't ongoing here, where is the search now for Brian Laundrie? And so again, hoping here that there is some progress here. There's some developments that we can share, and we've been in standby mode all weekend long. For those of you who have been following me on my WFLA
All right, hang on, guys. I just got to switch something. Bear with me 1 second.
They are still out here in the Carlton Reserve searching for any signs that Brian Laundrie might have been here, or if he is still here, they're going to still continue to search out here for him. And again, we're closer to the Northport side of the reserve. But again, I'm going to move the camera out and show you, JB, just exactly what they're up against. You see there's a big line of trees, and then there's also water on the side as well. So as they go through here, it's pretty tough go. They're not really seeing anything. They're just hoping that the dog may be able to pick up a scent or something to give them anything to go by, because they've been out here searching now for a while. And there's a good shot of the dog, and they're going to be looking. And you see, as they go, he's looking for anything that he can key on with the scent. But right now they're out here in the middle. So JB, we're going to go ahead and throw it back to you. And these are the only searchers that we've seen out in this huge area of the Carlton Reserve. Back to you, JB.
Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison there for us, everybody, a short time ago when we had Eagle 8 HD in the sky there over the Carlton Reserve there. Give him a follow, folks, on social media. You can't follow him on Facebook and Instagram right now, clearly, because, of course, Facebook and Instagram are down. But give Paul, everybody, Paul Lamison, Eagle 8 HD, a follow on Twitter. Let's go live to outside of the house here. Justin Rogers was just kind of zoomed in here on somebody that has a lawn chair and a sign. It looks like they're even working on that sign here outside of the there's Justin kind of zooming back in here for us. A sign here outside of the Laundrie home here, and this is nothing new. In fact, what we can do is let's just kind of listen in here for a second to see if we hear anything from outside of the Laundrie home. And you can hear there some commotion there in the background as a woman here is working on a sign, one of the many signs that we have seen out here in front of the Laundrie home there. Also, I am just completely honed into Brian Entin's voice. Brian Entin, a colleague of ours here at WFLA, and he reports, of course, for News Nation, but we are very much allies in the TV world, and I can hear Brian Entin there reporting. He might be live or might just be having some conversations with some folks here on the block outside of the Laundrie home here. Again, if there is any update here on a message in the sky above the Laundrie home here, again, a TikTok group organizing an effort here to get a banner plane over the house here. The time was supposed to be 3 o'clock over the house, but as of right now, it is 3:25 Eastern time, and as you can see there, just nothing but blue skies and a pretty day here. I mean, some palm trees and some fluffy white clouds there off in the distance over the Laundrie home here. So if there's any update as far as that plane over the house, I will, of course, pass it along here to you.
They have not said why they're focused on that area. All they keep saying is that they have reason to believe, and FBI intelligence shows that he's in that area. I don't know what kind of intelligence that is, but to me, it doesn't seem like it's too intelligent. Just saying. And I also don't get this camping in front of their house. They didn't kill her. She wasn't even killed in Florida. I can see, like what Molly did, going by, saying something, dropping something off. I get it. And then go home. But some of these people have been there from morning till night, every single day for weeks. That's weird. Hey, some grease.
Live on WFLA now. Okay, we also have that 911 call here for you folks. Now, we're going to play back the 911 call. You can listen to it on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. And let me just, again, make this very clear as to what this is. A hiker by the name of Dennis Davis said that he was 99% sure that the man that he encountered there near the Appalachian Trail was, in fact, Brian Laundrie, even though when he placed the 911 call, he said Brian Lauer at the beginning here. So what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to play back some of the 911 call. And I want to feature some of your comments here, everybody, but this is not the best day to be featuring your hashtag HeyJB comments here. I'm going to do my best to reference a few that are coming in here.
Hey now, Gray Wolf. I said that yesterday. See, guys, this is what I was talking about. JB says it, and everyone's like, wow, I say it, and I get ignored. Justice for Laura. I'm just totally playing, guys.
In the WFLA Now YouTube live comment section, but our system that powers our animated graphics on screen, it's also down here. So we'll try our very best here to get that back operational, but right now I'm going to be completely honed in to the YouTube comment section. Let's see if I can slow down this chat here a little bit. It can be a little bit tricky to read some of the YouTube commentary here. But we're going to play back the 911 call here. I want you guys to listen in, and I'll try to read some of the comments here as we do. This is one more time. Dennis Davis, who said he was 99% sure that the man that he encountered while in a parking lot near the trail and had a short conversation with. He was 99% sure that it was Brian Laundrie. Here's the call that you can listen to on WFLA.com.
Haywood County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer just a little while ago.
Okay, where did you see him at?
I was at the parking lot for the Appalachian Trail on the north side of Great Smokestack.
Okay, can you tell me, like, was you at an overlook? Are you there?
Hello?
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably going through the gorge. You lose service every now and then. So where did you see him at?
On Waterville Road.
Okay. And just on Waterville, or did you see him near a house? Could you see a mailbox?
He was driving a truck, and I stopped and talked to him.
Okay. Was he going up Waterville or back towards 40?
He was going away from 40.
Okay. What color truck?
It was a white truck. I think it was a Ford F-150. I'm not 100% sure of that. And it was kind of a newer model. It wasn't like an old beater. It was a newer truck.
Okay. And what makes you say that it was him?
Well, first off, I was making a U-turn and in the road, and he came up behind me and he slowed down and kind of flashed his lights, like telling me, "Oh, go ahead and go, and I'm going to wait for you." And as I turned around and I'm coming back by him, he's waving his arm out of his truck, like for me to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull up next to him. I'm getting ready to go through the tunnel here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I stopped and I was.
I think I lost you.
And he was talking wild. He said that his girlfriend loved him and he had to go out to California to see her. And he was asking me how to get to California. And I said, "Well, you can get on I-40 right there and drive west and you'll get there." And he said, "No, I think I can go this way," and kind of left. But he was acting funny. And I wasn't sure about what he looked like. And then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him, and I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
Okay. I'm going to let my sergeant know, okay?
Okay.
Okay, can I have your name and phone number?
Here, the name and phone number is redacted by law enforcement.
Your phone number? Okay. Well, like I said, I'm going to pass this along to my sergeant, okay?
All right. I'll meet somebody out there if they want to. I'm telling you, it was him.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll pass this along.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Haywood County 911, what's the location?
So, I'm sure it was him, are the words there from the 911 caller who, again, on WFLA.com has reported there is Dennis Davis, who said, you heard him there, it wasn't 99.9% sure, he said 99.99% sure that it was. But again, as a reminder here, and we'll listen here one more time, here's the beginning of that call.
Haywood County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer.
Brian Lauer. Now, again, and I've talked about this at great length on stream. Brian Laundrie is an extremely complicated person to track down because of his physical description. He matches a lot of other very common physical descriptions out there. He's in mid-20s with a shaved head, and his facial hair could be either groomed, it could be scruffy, it could be grown in, or he could be clean-shaven. And really, he's not all that too unique-looking. So, I don't want to tell you not to believe Dennis Davis, but I also am going to tell you here, don't believe him based on what we know at this stage with the 911 call and where we are here, because we just don't know whether or not this is a credible source of information. So you can't believe him and you can't not believe him. And so we'll, of course, keep you posted if any traction occurs there as far as this 911 call near at the parking lot near the trail here. I really would love for this to be something credible that law enforcement could go off of. And we don't know at this time whether or not the FBI deems this as a credible tip or a non-credible tip. We don't know if the FBI has investigated this or not investigated this, but we just know here at this time that that this is something that it's receiving a whole lot of attention online, because you can hear in his voice that he has a high level of certainty that he did see Brian Laundrie. So there you have the 911 call, and again, you can listen to it in its entirety on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Also worth noting that now, according to Davis, he says that that the man that he encountered said, "Me and my girlfriend had a fight, and man, I love her, and she called me, and I need to get out to California to see her." And that, of course, could just be erroneous information that was given deliberately to try to, of course, Brian Laundrie doesn't want to be found. So if it was him, he's just trying to, of course, say something to this person, Davis, Mr. Davis, to kind of throw off that it's not in fact him, not in fact the most wanted person in America right now, but. Again, what do you guys think here? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, folks. YouTube is particularly difficult without assistance here to pluck comments out of. So if you use hashtag HeyJB on Twitter, that is really easy for me to read your comments. So I'm going to ask, I know that we have a lot of folks watching on YouTube, and I hate to ask you to go over to a different platform, but if you really want me to read your question or your comment or what you thought of the 911 call, your reaction to the 911 call, please go over to Twitter and file in your tweet with hashtag HeyJB, and then what I can do is I can read it way more easily here. I know that the YouTube comment section just is filled with a lot of comments that have nothing to do with the Brian Laundrie search or with Gabby Petito.
Granny, I agree with you, but every day that goes on just proves he's smarter than others. I mean, as sick as that sounds, it's true, though. I mean, this is 3 weeks. Nobody has seen him. That is insane.
And yeah, I see it right now, and it's extremely difficult there. And my apologies for those on YouTube that are really trying to get their comments through. But I'm telling you that if you really want your comment to come through, use hashtag HeyJB on Twitter, and I'll read some of the comments that are coming in. In the meantime here, I will read a comment here that came in a short time ago from Austin Luff on Twitter, hashtag HeyJB. Why do you think that they are still searching this reserve? And I think because that they, at one point in this investigation, or maybe still, have really solid evidence. You don't commit this much manpower and this much resources over a 3-week period to search this area unless you have a really, really credible lead to go off of that leads you to believe that Brian Laundrie was or is here at the Carlton Reserve or somewhere near Myakkahatchee. So why do you think they're still searching there? Because they're doing their due diligence. But it is worth noting that they did scale back these search efforts considerably to where Eagle 8 HD flew over the area here, and we could only find really just a couple of crews and some vehicles and some sparsely located vehicles around the reserve, and really this one airboat here going a little bit deeper, more northeast into the reserve itself. But yeah, I would imagine that that nothing new has come in likely recently. And the reason being is because if there was something new that came in that led them to believe that Brian Laundrie could be at Carlton Reserve, that you would see search crews and you would see the amount of manpower here increase their presence here at the Carlton Reserve. We'll look for some new comments here coming in on Twitter. Big shout out to Michael Springer at Mikey Spring 303. He didn't even say Laundrie's name correctly. Kind of a hard name to mispronounce. Makes me feel this lead isn't credible. Hashtag HeyJB from, again, Michael Springer. That was my gut instinct too. If you're really up to speed on this story and you've been following it as much as many Americans have, and really many of you around the world have been following this story, you would of course, you would think that he would make the 911 call and scream at the top of his lungs, "I just saw Brian Laundrie." But he says that it was Brian Lauer. And I just being in the news business, I of course just think of Matt Lauer. But you would think that, yeah, Michael is in line with my thinking here. He didn't even, again, Michael Springer, he didn't even say the Laundrie's name correctly. So let's see. We need a hug. A pretty penguin on Twitter, hashtag HeyJB, hashtag WFLA now. He's on the run. I doubt he'd talk to a stranger, and California isn't that hard to find. If you're somebody who is the focal point of a nationwide manhunt, and everyone out there is looking for you, are you going to voluntarily just kind of talk to a stranger? I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I'm doing everything that I can to conceal my identity and own.
JB, you're $1 short and a day late. I said all this yesterday. Totally agree. Totally agree. No, Brian is not stopping to talk to anybody. He's not driving a truck, and this guy was so full of shit. Like I said yesterday, for those of you that don't know, it was a members-only stream that I said it on. So if you're a member of mine, the videos are up from last night. But like I said yesterday, there's no way that the most wanted man in America is just going to talk to somebody and be like, hey, I need directions. If you can survive out there somewhere, if you can survive for this long and not be found, I think you could find your way to California. Just saying.
Only talk to random folks wherever I am when it's an absolute necessity and potentially life or death situation where I need something. Because right now, everyone is looking for Brian Laundrie, and he is nowhere to be found. And again, there have been so many super lookalikes, like hyper lookalikes out there. And right now, there's just so many leads out there and calls that are coming in about, oh, he could be here, could be there. The trail cam in Alabama, remember we were talking about? There was a potential sighting in Northeast Florida near the Jacksonville area. Of course, we were talking about Canada. There was one in Mexico. There's been blurry pictures everywhere. And, we don't need blurry pictures. I'm sick of seeing blurry pictures. Hey, this is Brian Laundrie. No, we need really good, credible photo, video evidence that Brian Laundrie is in place A or in place B. Again, live here for you folks outside of the Laundrie home here. I was given an update here, passed along here to me that the banner plane that TikTok has that effort that has come together on TikTok to fly a banner plane over the house here today has been delayed, but could be again occurring here sometime in the next 10 minutes, I was told. Sometime in the next 10 minutes. I don't know if that is true. I'm just passing along here from, again, I've given a lot of shout outs here on this stream, a lot of shout outs to the TikTok community. There is, of course, landmines of misinformation on TikTok, but there's also some folks really trying to do some good. And again, I spoke to Justin Shepard, one of the organizers behind this, and one woman. He told me that one woman made a donation of more than $1,000 to get this plane airborne, and here it might be. Live here on WFLA Now from above the Laundrie home here, Justin Rogers' photo, and there is the banner. So TikTok, this is the banner that has come together on that social media platform on TikTok here, and we'll see if we can read out exactly what it says. Let's listen in. I will note this is a tricky job for Justin Rogers, but oh, he's right on it. There you can see it. Justice for Gabby. TikTok, time's up. Again, this was a organized effort by a few on TikTok here. Organizing that effort was Justin Shepard, Justin on TikTok. And again here, this is, he told me earlier today on the phone, he said that he had received just an overwhelming amount of donations to where he felt like he wanted to do something to organize an effort to where TikTok and that community specifically could send a message to the Laundrie family there here in Northport. And there you see the back.
All right, so those of you guys that couldn't see it, it said Justice for Gabby, TikTok, time's up. That's what it said. You're right, Text Girl. It should say sub up to PURPLEXEDQT. I agree. But yeah, that's what it said.
Banner plane, and it reads, again, it'll circle back around here, folks. It reads, Justice for Gabby, TikTok, time's up. Let's listen in.
Call me crazy, but unless the person driving the plane is part of TikTok, I cannot imagine spending that kind of money just to do that. So unless it was free, I mean, how about justice for all? How about justice for everybody? How about the lesbian couple that was murdered? How about the guy they found 45 miles away? Like, I'm sorry, but you're going to spend that kind of money? Make it for everybody. That's just my opinion.
Hope it's over soon. least it's not the summertime. Could be worse. That is true.
Streaming live on WFLA Now, powered by 1-800-ASK-GARY. Here's JB Buno.
A group on TikTok airing a message quite literally to the Laundrie family. A banner plane organized by a group on TikTok calling for justice for Gabby, saying in the banner message, TikTok, time's up. Hey there, folks. JB Buno engaging a new digital audience here live on WFLA Now. Great to have you here with us this Monday afternoon here. You can see there the banner plane. Justice for Gabby. TikTok, time's up here. I'm going to give you some details here on this effort that, again, was organized on the social media platform TikTok here. And we'll show you some, that plane right now is continuing to circle over the Laundrie home and will do so for 2 hours. That's what the TikTok group with Justin Shepard, Justin on TikTok, helping lead and organize this effort here. Here it is live. Let's go live here and listen in here for a moment.
Why is he repeating this? They just went through it. I don't understand why he's repeating it. You can't even hear anything. So I did look it up, though. 300 to 600 per hour for a message like that doesn't mean the person that drives the plane isn't part of TikTok or isn't part of the group. It's just, it's a little disheartening because there's a lot of other missing and dead people. She's not the only one. And if you're going to spend that kind of money, I just feel like make it for everybody. You know, the lesbian couple, I can't think of her name all of a sudden. Kylan, her dad was saying that the FBI claims to be on the case. They haven't done anything, like nothing to help. And they haven't even really assigned anybody on the case. And they were brutally murdered with no answers. And you don't see anything about justice for them. It's sad.
So I spoke to TikToker Justin51982 this morning. He goes by Justin on TikTok. And Justin and I had a conversation here about why this was happening and why this was the talk of social media this morning as far as this banner plane effort being organized here. And there are so many folks on TikTok with who've been, passionately following this story and who have wanted to do something to speak out and support the Justice for Gabby cause. And Justin, in one of his TikTok videos, talked about a possible sighting of a banner plane, and they didn't know whether or not it was real or if it was fake. It was just something that they saw online that looked like it could have been a banner plane. But then it became, okay, why aren't we actually doing a banner plane? You know how the internet is. Once they, of course, come up with an idea, it immediately becomes, hey, let's actually do it. Why are we talking about it? Why don't we actually do something? And so soon thereafter, Justin told me this morning that he had all of these Venmo donations coming in. A lot of Venmo donations, including from one woman who made a Venmo donation of $1,169, a follower of Justin's on TikTok, and that was nearly half the amount necessary to get this plane airborne here, and they paid for 2 hours. 2 hours. So if you're Chris and Roberta Laundrie, for the next 2 hours, you're going to hear this plane buzzing around in the sky above their home here in Northport, Florida. And if you look outside, you're going to see this banner plane with this message that reads, "Justice for Gabby, TikTok, time's up." I asked Justin a little bit, let's go back here live. I asked Justin, I said, why this message? And he actually put it to his audience, and he said, what should we put in this banner message? And he said, Justice for Gabby was a pretty easy go-to, and then a bunch of ideas came in, and it was kind of a collaborative effort, and they said, we're going to go with TikTok, time's up. So take that for what you will here, folks. A couple quotes here from Justin. He said, I asked him, I said, why has this story gained so much a massive following on social media? And he goes, so many people have made a connection to Gabby, someone who just had a vibrant life. And he says, quote unquote, this whole thing is suspect. And that's why he thinks that there's been a sizable following here on TikTok and on other social media platforms as to the Gabby Petito story and of the Brian Laundrie search. As you're looking here live outside of the house, let's just kind of listen in. Justin Rogers, we're going to turn up your mic here for just a moment. Turn up your audio and just listen in.
She would be dead right now. You have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hands. We will never forget. You're making matters worse. You don't deserve mercy. You don't deserve mercy.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys agree with me, but I don't agree with the shit they're doing. I just don't. We don't know what the parents know. The parents might not know anything. You have to, in order to hate the parents, you'd have to believe that he came home and said, Mom and Dad, I killed her, I murdered her, and now I'm on the run. That's what you would have to believe in order to hate the parents. Someone that's been able to evade the FBI for this long and everybody for this long tells me that they don't know that he killed her, and he's smart enough to not tell anybody what he did. That's just how I see it. I think this is insane.
Justice for Gabby and her family. Justice for Gabby and her family. Gabby's life mattered. Gabby's life mattered. Gabby's life mattered.
Your son's on the run and you could care less. You're despicable.
Gabby's life mattered.
But that's my whole point. I don't believe that he came home and said, Mom, I murdered her and now I need an attorney. Bullshit. That's not how this went down. This went down with, Mom, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I came back and she's gone. She's gone. And I don't know where she is. And I freaked out and I came home and I don't know what to do. And his parents said, don't worry, we'll get you an attorney. Tell us what you know. He said, Mom, Dad, I left for a little while. I came back and she was dead. And I don't know what to do. I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. That's what I think happened. And his parents said, all right, calm down. We'll get you an attorney. You know, that's how I think this went down. And that's why I don't think his parents are like know everything. And like I said, I would have done the same thing. Okay, let's get an attorney. Attorney says, say nothing. Your cousin who's a cop says, say nothing. All right, you didn't do this. Relax. We'll get through this. You know, we'll get through this together. Rather than, Mom and Dad, Gabby's not with me because I fucking strangled her to death or I beat her to death and now I'm on the run. Oh, okay, son, we'll hide you. Bullshit. That's not how that went down. And until I'm proven otherwise, I'm sticking with my story.
I'd like to take a moment here as well just to give a shout out for those folks on TikTok that have really been committed to carrying the conversation forward and also having some additional conversations, some difficult conversations that have arisen over the course of the Gabby Petito story coverage here. There's some.
Let me also add this in, that some people forget that I said this a while ago. Rainey, you're 100% right. I don't know for sure. But what I do know for sure is that Gabby was not killed here. Gabby was not killed in Florida. So the parents really have nothing to do with the murder itself. No matter where the murder took place or no matter what happened with the murder, we damn well know that the murder did not happen in Florida. Now, we also know that the parents are working with the FBI. The parents have not turned down the FBI or the police. As I said yesterday in my members only live, the parents owe the public nothing. These people seem to think the parents owe them something. The parents don't owe them jack shit. The parents don't owe us anything. They work with the police. They're working with the FBI. Just because they don't give, us, the public, what we want doesn't make them horrible people. Sorry, not sorry. And again, I know my opinions don't exactly win the public over, but I'm still going to give you my opinion, whether it wins the public over or not.
Some great folks out there on TikTok and that are really trying to make a difference. And while we know that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we trust and we try to trust as many good folks out there as possible to come forward with good information, we know that there's not a lot of vetting going on TikTok. But I just want to personally here just speak to the TikTok community. There's so many people out there that are trying to make a difference, do the right thing, and really just wanted to give those folks some of the recognition that they deserve here. And this is an effort here that has organically come from TikTok. And whether or not there are going to be some people out there that think that this is just too much, some people out there that are going to think that they agree with this. All I'm going to pass along here to you is that I know that there are some people out there on TikTok that have been trying to make a big difference here with this story. And this is a culmination of them saying, what can we do here from wherever they are? Maybe you're a TikToker on the West Coast, or maybe you're a TikToker on the other side of the world. What can we do here to stand up for the Justice for Gabby cause? And this is what you're seeing as a result of that. A banner plane flying for 2 hours now, 2 hours, and really the next hour and 45 minutes here over the home here in Northport, Florida. And it again reads, Justice for Gabby. TikTok time is up. Great work here by our WFLA photojournalist, Justin Rogers, one of the best here in Florida, providing us here with some very steady video here on the ground. This is extremely hard to do from Justin's vantage point. So Justin Rogers doing an outstanding job getting us some a live video here from outside of the Laundrie home. One more time, let's listen. What I'm going to do here, we're going to continue to listen in here for a moment. I want everyone to be able to hear what's going on. I want you to be able to kind of feel like you're on the street here, because there's so many people that wish that they could be here and have indicated to me in the comments, I wish that I could go out there to Florida, but I can't be here for this reason or that reason. I want to just kind of go there here so you can listen in. In the meantime, I'm going to spend the next 3 minutes here, everybody, reading your hashtag HeyJB comments on Twitter. Facebook's down, Instagram's down, YouTube is really hard because there's just so many non Brian Laundrie, non Gabby Petito comments there. So I'm going to go now to the to Twitter and look for your hashtag HeyJB comments, and we'll continue to monitor this feed here from WFLA photojournalist Justin Rogers.
No, that's actually not true. They have been working with the police. They keep saying they're working with the police and FBI. They've done everything they're supposed to do, anything that they've been asked to do. So I don't agree with that. Every news report that I've seen, they are working with the FBI and they're cooperating. They're doing everything they need to do. Do I agree with what they did with her, with the parents and, not saying anything? No, I don't agree with that. But again, they may not know anything to say something. We don't know what they know. So I don't know. I know it could be seen and heard. People just couldn't chat. But a lot of people haven't watched it either. Yes, but you're assuming they know something, Jamie. They may not know anything. What did Gray say? They may not know anything. Everybody's assuming they know something. We don't know what they know. They should not be prisoners in their own home. I'm sorry, but they shouldn't. Let me just address this. That's Molly, and you have to get to know her to understand. I didn't see it. But yeah, Molly did. I said this originally. I'll say it again. Molly did not say burn your house down. That's not what she said. So I've said it 1,000 times. What she said was, maybe if your house was burned down, you'd finally come out of the house. I understood what she meant. She never said anybody should burn their house down. That's not what she said. Somehow this got twisted into her saying, I'm going to burn your house down. She never said anything of the sort. Oh, okay. So there's some confusion. A woman said it yesterday, not Molly. Okay, got it. So I guess a woman said yesterday that their house should burn down, and people are thinking Molly said it. Okay, yeah, because if there was a woman that said it yesterday, that's not Molly. Molly was gone yesterday. Okay, so Lissa said there was a woman yesterday who said they should burn the house down with them in it. It was a squeaking, loud, annoying woman. Aha. See, Molly's going to get the blame for that. Because, like, just like we all thought that it was Molly that he was talking about. So sorry, Gray. We didn't know. Why does JB keep repeating this, though? Thank you, Jules. Facts do matter. See, and that sucks, though, that Molly's going to get the blame for that when it wasn't even her. That sucks. No, Molly didn't say that, but there was somebody that said it yesterday. It is on a loop. I don't know why they keep repeating it. I hope he doesn't plan on repeating this for like 2 hours. I mean, that's insane. Oh, Benny, he's such an idiot. I don't even know why people bother. Talk about somebody wanting their 15 minutes of fame. My God. Protesters wouldn't piss me off if I was Gabby's parents. Yeah, but he's not here. If everyone watches it, you can see it wasn't Marissa, it was the bullhorn lady. No, but I'm saying, like, we all thought it was, you know, he was talking about Marissa. Seriously, they've been doing this for like they keep repeating it over and over and over. Like, okay, we've seen it already. I'm not American, though. This is disrespectful. What's disrespectful? If anything, we owe the family respect to leave them alone. This has to be traumatizing for them. Now, also, don't forget that. Thank you, Gray. We just didn't know. So that's why you were timed out. I apologize. Thanks for sticking around, though. I know you didn't think it was Molly, but none of us may have watched it yesterday, so we automatically assumed that you were talking about Marissa. So, our bad. But thanks for sticking around. It was Brian's parents who reported him missing. If you are the last one to see someone missing or find a dead body, get a lawyer. That is true. His loop finally broke. Unless Twitter's now broke. Hang on. Let me update. There we go.
And his description so that it aids the public and then in turn aids the FBI in getting credible tips. Sharon, thanks a lot. Yeah, GA girl, and I would imagine that's Georgia girl, 1963. People need to look for Brian's tattoos. The tattoos that are vines are on both hands, and they are permanent tattoos, according to Northport Police. Let's take one more here, folks. We'll take one more. Why not start the search in and around the Appalachian Trail, North Carolina area, especially since there are so many sightings there. And this is coming from Bethany. Hello there to Bethany on Twitter with hashtag HJB. So there's nothing to say that there isn't a search going on right now at the Appalachian Trail. The FBI could be there and could be very discreet about their search efforts. They could have been looking there for weeks. We just don't know. The FBI, again, isn't going to telegraph to the world and broadcast to everybody and show up with, with their with their FBI vests on and in full uniform when they go to search a location. And even if they did, they could be investigating another case that has absolutely nothing to do with Brian Laundrie. So it's hard for us to say whether or not they have and have not searched. But Bethany, I think it's entirely possible that that area has been considered and /or actively searched at this stage of where we are in the Brian Laundrie manhunt here. I appreciate a lot of the comments and questions that have been coming in here. I'll look for some more. Let's go back live. Another 3 minutes with photojournalist Justin Rogers here, everybody, following the banner that has been organized by TikTok, the banner plane here outside of the home of the Laundries in Northport, Florida. I'll look for your hashtag HeyJB tweets starting now.
Who's in the wrong, Kiki? Everyone is, that's, for us, that's what I keep saying. We don't know what they know. They may know absolutely nothing. Hey, Wilhelmina. Is that a YouTube channel with the newsman? I'm actually streaming it from Twitter. But it's from WFLA. You can probably find it on their website, on Twitter, and also on YouTube. But I didn't want to run it from YouTube. I just don't get why they're coming down. Like, what do they expect the parents to do? For starters, that Cassie did not see Brian. She was with him on September 1st at her home and parents' home and a weekend camping. Yes. We know that's a lie. If you're in, lie detectors don't do anything. They're all bullshit. So both mentioned burning houses, but one suggested it could burn while the other said it should. Yeah. Aren't those like 50? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not used in court. Brian's car left in the swamp and they found it. What do you mean Brian's car left in the swamp? Oh, you just mean the parents. Yeah, but that doesn't, we don't know what they told, what he told his parents. We just don't. You know, hiding your son because the whole world believes he's guilty is different than hiding your son because you know he murdered your future daughter-in-law. You know, his parents couldn't have hated Gabby. They lived together. The parents let Gabby live there for like 2 years, a year or two. So they don't exactly not like Gabby. And they're not exactly horrible people if they let her live there for over a year. So we're missing something. There's a piece of this that we just don't know. Notice the lawn chair is gone. But we just don't know. People wondering if the Mustang was gone. Well, the Mustang's there. If you murdered someone, would you go to your parents and tell them you murdered people? Exactly. Mom, I'm a serial killer. Okay. You know, did they ask what happened to Gabby? I'm sure they asked what happened to her, but we just don't know. I don't know why nobody's mowing their lawn, though, to be honest. I don't really get that. I wouldn't go out of my house into the day of the living. I wouldn't either. I absolutely wouldn't. I don't know what they expect these people to do. This is just like looping. They just lived with the parents for 6 months. They had their own place before that for a year and a half. Oh, okay. So they moved in with the parents to save money for this trip? That's what I thought. Okay. And they lived in Florida or New York?
Mom, has anyone ever complained about your candle prices?
What?
Has anyone ever complained about your candle prices?
No.
Oh, I was saying, because there's a song that you could play.
What is it?
Wait. Just listen to it.
I can't hear it.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Cost that much cause it takes me fucking hours. It costs that much cause I don't have superpowers. You need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours.
Send that to me.
Huh?
Send that to me.
Okay.
But don't send it on Facebook because Facebook's down.
Is it?
Yeah, messaging is down.
Okay.
Calling them murder is slander big time. I agree. Totally agree. And it's not like she was even killed. Supposedly Brian worked at Publix too, but I don't know. Yeah, Mom, I killed someone. Get the minivan. I need you to help me move the body. Exactly. It just doesn't make sense. And Jules, I agree with that, except for one thing. One thing. What if, just what if, he told his parents, I was turning myself in, I just need a minute to clear my head. I'm going to turn myself in. I'm just going to go hiking for a minute. And that's when he disappeared. That is a perfectly logical explanation as well. That they did believe in him and they did believe that he was going to turn himself in until the very end when he decided, you know what, fuck this, I'm running, and his parents don't even know where he is either. That's a very, very strong possibility.
Now, and we'll be taking your hashtag HJB Twitter comments or your tweets here for the next few minutes. And if any developments occur outside of the Laundrie home here or elsewhere here in Florida, we'll let you know about it. But again, here is the Justice for Gabby TikTok Time's Up banner that is being flown here for the next hour or so, hour plus, around the home of Brian Laundrie here. This has sparked a lot of reaction online. I've been reading some of your reaction online. Most of the reaction is positive to this. People that just want there to be more for the Justice for Gabby cause. There's also been some negative comments towards the banner playing here, and we're going to get into that here over the next several minutes here with you on WFLA Now. I can only feature comments and questions that...
Okay, in my opinion, just my opinion, Granny, the reason why they didn't do that from the beginning is because the Fifth Amendment right states that you can plead the Fifth in order to stop from coercive questioning. That is legit the Fifth Amendment right. If they open their mouth and say anything, and I mean anything, that could be coerced into different lines of questions. So the best bet is to say absolutely nothing. Because if you say absolutely nothing, nobody can twist it around. Nobody can make something that it's not. Nobody can, make it more coercive questioning. They cannot say anything other than yes, no. That's it. Or I plead the Fifth. That is how the Fifth works. And people need to realize that. They're not doing anything illegal or anything wrong. And again, they don't owe the public jack shit.
That use our hashtag system, so we'll use hashtag HJB. And let's get to it here from Luck Hurts. We're going to start here from Luck Hurts, hashtag HJB. There is a town named California in North Carolina. The guy Mr. Davis encountered was most likely referring to the town, not the state. It's not as far from that area and can be accessed via back roads. And yeah, I've seen this comment pointed out a bunch of times here, and that's good to know. As far as North Carolina, I've only been a few times to North Carolina. Great area, great state rather, but that's good to know here. As far as and I've seen others here, Luck Hurts, as far as pointing this out to me that there is also a town in North Carolina called California, North Carolina.
Yes, it is not to incriminate ourselves, but it is against the exact wording, I just read it the other day, is coercive questioning. It is to protect yourself from coercive questioning. And that's fucked up. But that's what the fifth was about, because it's going to be coercive questioning, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. End of story. You can't give a little bit. You have to say nothing completely.
Hashtag AJB, some people who have been commenting based on the physical description, and again, on us calling for more specifics from the FBI on the physical description of Brian Laundrie. Hashtag AJB, he has a scar under his left eye and 2 right upper front teeth that are slightly crooked. Watching the banner fly from my TV in Massachusetts. Hello there to you, Kelly. Thank you for watching from Massachusetts. But I also want to point this out here to you, too. So then Ricky is here saying, hashtag AJB, Brian's tooth is chipped, and that's why it's a special feature on him. So here we have one tweeter saying that the teeth are slightly crooked, and one saying that it's chipped, and both could be true. But I want to just point out here that this is why I called on the FBI this morning to release a super specific description of Brian Laundrie that goes beyond height, weight, birth date, and eye color and hair color. Let's get to this one here from Amanda. Hashtag AJB, has there been any sign of his sister since the news last week? Cassie Laundrie, and I think there's some more comments here in the queue on this. Cassie Laundrie has not been seen really by anybody since that Good Morning America interview that was, of course, the subject of a whole lot of attention this weekend. More on that in just a second. Alexis here, hashtag AJB. To this date, what are your thoughts? Do you think Brian will ever be found? How are you feeling about this whole thing? I've lost sleep because I'm so invested. It'd be nice to hear your thoughts. My thoughts are always going to be based on fact. And the fact of the matter is that Brian Laundrie right now is charged with use of unauthorized access devices connected to the claim of credit card fraud, but he has not been charged in connection with Gabby Petito's homicide. And I know that people have lost sleep over this, and they want answers, and they want so much more. I'm going to, of course, always come back to the facts of the case. But I do have high confidence in law enforcement that Brian Laundrie will be found here. He is a wanted person. He's wanted, and he is still the subject of a missing persons case here in Florida that was originally, of course, filed by the family, and the family said to be cooperating with police as much as they can and have been cooperating with police as far as it being a missing persons case. But do I think he'll ever be found? I do. I'm a glass half full kind of a person, but I don't know when. No one does. But I reference back to our expert roundtable from Friday, and I've had more conversation with various experts in their fields on law enforcement and on missing persons cases. And when it comes to something of this magnitude, as far as Brian Laundrie, the one thing I keep hearing from the experts, not me, from the experts, is that it takes one mistake. And all it takes is one mistake. And I've heard that saying uttered many a times by different individuals that are experts in their fields, that it's just a matter of time, in their estimation, that Brian Laundrie slips and makes a mistake, and then, of course, he is on the radar of law enforcement. So we don't know if that has happened already. We don't know if that's going to happen in the not-too-distant future, but that's just an interesting observation from some of the experts that I've talked to as far as where things stand now. Donna Prophet, hashtag AJB, watching from the UK. I hope they find him. And just a big shout out to the UK audience watching from across the Atlantic. Just a lot of folks from the UK who've been following the story and following it with every twist and turn. Elise Meserve, hashtag HeyJB. Also keep an eye out for his hairline. I'll scroll down here. His hairline. Lots of sightings are ruled out because of his odd hairline. Pause this image from Gabby's Instagram here. So there you see the hairline here, and take that for what you will, folks. I would imagine that it's a bit of a unique hairline for somebody who is in their early 20s. But Elise, thank you for pointing it out. Sarah Hart, hashtag HeyJB. Wouldn't it be better to donate the money from this plane to Gabby's foundation? The Gabby Petito Foundation launched over the weekend, or really went public online over the weekend, And I have been in touch with Gabby Petito's family, and GabbyPetitoFoundation.org is the website, and they have, of course, been tweeting out trying to get as much support behind it. It's going to be aimed towards multiple causes, but really help out the families of missing persons here in this country. And yeah, I would say that there's going to be a lot of folks out there that are going to say that why would you spend thousands of dollars on a banner plane when we can take those thousands of dollars and put it towards good, as far as good for future causes, as far as the Gabby Petito Foundation. Do you agree? You can let me know here with #HJB, but this isn't the first time I saw this comment here. People asking, why are we spending money on banner planes and not on helping others in this world? Because that's what the family of Gabby Petito wants. And I would ask that to Justin, to Justin Shepard and Justin on TikTok, who helped organize this. Maybe there's a secondary effort that can be underway to, and TikTok can rally once again and provide provide donations for the Gabby Petito Foundation. Justin C, #HJB. Will the public soon have access to the entire unedited interview with Cassie Laundrie? If you've been following me on my WFLAJB Twitter account over the weekend, I called on Good Morning America to release the full unedited interview, the raw interview. And people then sent me all of the clips from the air check, and the air check in TV terms is the raw, like, TV broadcast recording from Good Morning America that morning. And that's not what I was referring to. I meant the camera rolled on that interview with Cassie Laundrie, and I think that the world deserves to see that entire unedited interview. Instead, what we got over the weekend was a modified version of the video report of the story itself, and it added in the question that was asked by the reporter, and it gave us some context as to how Cassie Laundrie was responding to the question when she said that I haven't seen him, in essence, that I haven't seen him. And so she never made specific mention to, I haven't seen him since he returned to Florida without Gabby, as was originally reported. And I think that the world still, we did get more from Good Morning America, and I'm very, very glad that we got more from Good Morning America as far as them modifying the story and adding the question from the reporter to give us a full and better contextual understanding as to what Cassie Laundrie, Brian's sister, was referring to in that moment. But we still to this day don't have the full, raw, unedited interview, and we probably never will at this stage of where we are. But I appreciate, Justin, you following up here. Shelby Newheisel, #HJB. What's the newest update on Cassie? Well, the only updates that we're getting on the Laundrie family right now are from Stephen Bertolino, the attorney. And more than any other day, perhaps since this began, we haven't heard from Stephen Bertolino. By now, usually reporters' phones are buzzing, and we're hearing more from Brian Laundrie's attorney, Stephen Bertolino. Today just hasn't been one of those days. And I wonder if that is deliberate, or if there's just we have a little bit of a lapse here as far as communication with Bertolino. But it is Monday, and I know from talking to my colleagues here at WFLA that people have been reaching out to Stephen Bertolino for additional comment and perspective, and any updates here on what's been happening here with Brian.
Okay, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but a Long Island attorney, I'm sure Brian's not his only case. Just saying, I'm sure he's got other, maybe he's in court all day. These people are acting like Brian's his only case. I'm sure he's got a whole business that he may be in court all day. This is so weird to me. They think that Brian's his only client.
Laundrie, but it's been radio silence from Stephen Bertolino today. We'll take one more here. Oh, wow. Colby Hanks, #HJB. I wonder if the Laundries are watching your broadcast live. I don't know. There's no way for us to really know if they're watching. I'd be very just curious to know, have they looked outside their front door, or have they looked outside their front window here, just peeked through the blinds there to see what the banner plane is all about here? Because the banner plane, Justin Rogers is still on the phone, and he's listening. So, Justin, who's, again, the photojournalist providing us with the live feed here, he just kind of zoomed in, and it caught the attention of my gaze on the touchscreen here. And Justin, hey, I'm going to maybe ask you to put a thumbs up in front of the camera, or a thumbs down in front of the camera. Give me a thumbs. Have you seen any activity here on the ground from the Laundries peeking outside of their front window here or from the front door here since the banner plane started flying out around the house? Give me a thumbs up if yes, thumbs down if no. That's a no. Okay, everybody, there's Justin Rogers here for us and providing us with an answer. So no peeking through the blinds that he has seen, or no activity that would lead us to believe that the Laundries have seen the banner plane here. Again, organized by TikTok, but there is, again, one more time, a live picture here from outside of the home. And again, just a salute to Justin Rogers, who's been doing a phenomenal job over the last several weeks, is providing us with these images here from Northport, Florida. All right, folks, appreciate it. I don't know if the Laundries are watching the broadcast live. All I do know is that there is a banner plane that's going to be flying for about another hour, maybe a little bit less than another hour here, and it says Justice for Gabby, TikTok time's up. Few developments here today. The search continues at Carlton Reserve, but it's a fraction of the size that it once was at the Carlton Reserve here. So whether or not we do get any updates here in the hours, days ahead, of course, we'll keep you posted on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Facebook, Instagram still down, so I can't go live on Facebook and Instagram, I think. Or is Facebook back up? Let's just look here real quick. Hey, guys, is Facebook back up? Well, you go to Facebook.com and it's still down, so Facebook is still down. So I can't go live on Facebook or on Instagram or any of those platforms right now just because they're experiencing widespread service outages here, but appreciate all of you joining us here. I'll try to get to some more #HeyJB comments here. You can follow me at WFLAJB here on Twitter here, folks. If there's any significant developments,
I'm going to take a look and see if Brian Entin has anything, because for the first time ever, JB is boring me to death. They just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. Like, if there's no news, there's no news, move on. But this is just, like, boring. All right, let me take a look, see what Brian's got. Hold on.
here in the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito story. Something.
He can't even walk.
Let me see what Twitter's got. Yeah, you could drop Jules's link. You could drop Jules's thoughts link.
Hey, Mom. Do you know where Phoenix went?
Shh. What?
Where Phoenix went?
He's in this room with Natalie. I don't know. Alright, let's see. Alright, showed the plane, showed the air search.
Family, do what's right. It's not too late to turn yourself into a story. It's not too late. Okay. I see a
Oh, good, it's working.
outside your house. I'm assuming you're prepared.
Yeah, I reset my hotspot. I think it's working now. And I got a new phone over the weekend, so hopefully the quality will be better.
Just do the right thing. Stop causing this nightmare to continue. You can end this. You can end this. Please. You can end this, Laundrie family. If you're involved, just own it. Own it. Own it. You might get some leniency if you help find Brian, turn himself in, tell him everything. Anything. Where were you at with them after September 1st? Did you help him in any way to escape?
Just waiting for a few more people to join.
There's authorities out there at the Carlton Reserve looking for Brian. There's a lot of alligators out there. There's snakes.
So far, not much going on. It was a pretty slow weekend. I know you guys were following over the weekend. They had some protesters out here over the weekend, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, those are protesters you're hearing. There's a couple out today. Latest today over at the Carlton Reserve, we know that there were some search crews out there this morning. There's like one airboat and a canine team out there. I'm going to upload some video to Twitter soon of them. Can you guys hear me okay?
Prove us wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove everyone
So this afternoon, you guys may have seen on Twitter and TikTok, but some folks raised money to rent one of those banner planes. So we're expecting around 3 o'clock this afternoon. There's going to be a banner plane that goes up over the laundry house and flies around with a banner that says "Justice for Gabby." I can't remember the exact message they had planned, but we'll be out here for that this afternoon.
All right? I got in trouble before in my lifetime, and I accepted responsibility. I moved on from it.
Yeah, the lawn is still not mowed for those of you guys asking.
Also, let me hit on something that some people may not know, even though it's been said a bunch of times. Everyone thinks there's crisis actors here. They're not. They're called trolls. One of them is a very well-known troll who seems to be leading this pack of people there. There's not crisis actors. They're real people. We know them from Chris Watts. So, all right, Lab. So I just want to make that clear. I don't even understand why these people come up with, or how they come up with this, but no, there's no crisis actor.
It's getting really long, actually. It's longer than it was. Looks a lot longer than it was this weekend.
Where's Brian's whereabouts? Help him. Give him anything. Just help.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend too. Yeah, it was nice to sort of be able to go home for the weekend, obviously. See my family and my dog, and just sort of recharge. I definitely needed just a little bit of a recharge after 17 days, you guys can imagine. So I feel 100% good now, so that's good. The flowers are still out here, same flowers. So not much has changed since I was here on Friday. Yeah, it's the same protesters we've been seeing. Yep, same couple of people. Sorry, yeah, some of you are saying the video is still pixelated. Yeah, I mean, the cell service is still bad, even though I got the new phone. It's still the same awful service, so I think we're going to kind of have bad video in this area. Yeah, I saw the, a lot of you sent me the drone video of them gardening in the backyard yesterday. I did see that. Yeah, we're following up on the leads from the Appalachian Trail. I've gotten a lot of tips about that. So one of my coworkers this morning spoke with the hiker. His name's Dennis. Spoke with him this morning, just briefly, but his cell service was terrible because he's still hiking, and apparently it was raining, and he had like a really, really long hike today. So I texted with him a little while ago, Dennis the hiker, and he's gonna call me when he gets good enough service. So I'll make sure to record that conversation and then tweet it out so we can get the latest from him today. But someone's asking if I'll stay here or go to North Carolina. I mean, that's a good question. I think for now we'll stay here. I mean, there really haven't been any confirmed sightings yet. If there's something confirmed, we'll definitely move and follow the story wherever it goes. So we'd have no issue moving. I don't want to move from here unless we get something a little more confirmed, because a lot of people think that they're seeing him, and we're just not really sure. But yeah, a lot of you asking about the plane banner. I'll tell you again. Yeah.
You know what's really sad though? Look how much money and time is being wasted on people that want 15 minutes of fame. Why would they go to North Carolina? Don't you think the FBI would know if he was in North Carolina? There's FBI everywhere. I think it's disgusting how many people wasting so much time looking in places that just don't matter. Or, oh my God, I think I saw him. Of course you saw him. How about you take a picture? All these people that claim to see him, why don't you take a picture of him and then go live and say, this is who I just saw, or, you know, this is where I saw him. That I would respect. But all these people in the age of cell phones, not one person is recording or taking a picture of him. Give me a fucking break.
yeah, I know about the plane banner. I talked to the organizer, or one of them. It was originally going to be at 1:30, but they pushed it back to 3 o'clock. Apparently, people contributed money to this and donated money, and they were able to rent the plane and the banner. So they're going to fly it here over the house at 3 p.m. I haven't spoken to Dog today. I did just text with his assistant a little while ago. So if there's any updates on that end, I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. So someone's asking, are the FBI following up on any leads? I haven't heard anything new from the FBI. This morning when we were driving back over, it's called Pacer. It's like the federal court system's online portal. You have to have a membership, which News Nation has a membership. So I logged into that and I was just looking through to see if there was anything new posted there, because anything related to the federal arrest warrant or anything with the federal case would be posted there. There's nothing new. There are quite a few sealed items, which we knew about, and I expected stuff that's been sealed by a federal judge, so we can't exactly see.
Hey, Terminator Room, you do know that Alex Jones lost his lawsuit and is probably going to lose everything for stating that Sandy Hook doesn't exist. So I don't know if you know that or not, but yeah, that's what's happening.
Exactly what's in some of these search warrants and stuff. So there's a lot we don't know, but I checked this morning just to see if there was anything new, and there really wasn't. Yeah, Dennis is the hiker. That's right. Nothing new with Brian's sister, Cassie, since we broke the story on Friday about her being at the campsite, and also at the Brian being at her house. That was all new Friday. The WFLA chopper, which it's the same. So News Nation, it's owned by the same company as WFLA, so we're all kind of working together. I was just talking to the reporter who was in the chopper, and they flew over Cassie's house just to see if there was anything going on, and it was quiet. So. Yeah, the Gabby Memorial, the flowers here are still here, and there's still some out on the street too. I can walk over there in a second. I just don't want to lose the connection, but yeah, they're still here. And there's a really big, nice Gabby Petito Memorial near City Hall in Northport. If you're in Northport or you're nearby, you should definitely check it out. It's a really nice area, and you can kind of go there and reflect. I haven't seen the FBI back at the house. Kenny and Michael, who are our crew here over the weekend while I was at home, they didn't see FBI out here at all, and they were here all weekend. So. Someone's asking me to get closer to the truck. Like, I can't really go on their property, but I can. This is like about as close as I can get. And thank you again to the neighbor here. I mean, he's allowing us to still be here and basically camped out. We have our tent and everything. So I just want to thank him again, because it's now been, I mean, this is like day 18 or 19. So thank you to him for allowing us to stay here, because we can stay really close to the house. So no update on the official cause of death. Obviously, we know it was ruled a homicide, but the FBI still isn't releasing the full report that would give specifics about how she actually died. A lot of people are asking about that. Go back and look at my tweet from Friday. We interviewed a state attorney. His name's Dave Ehrenberg, here in Florida, and he was asked that question, and I tweeted the video, and I think he explained it really, really well, probably better than I could. But basically, watch his video on my Twitter. But basically, they are careful about what they're releasing, because there may be things in that autopsy report that the person who killed Gabby Petito would be the only person who would know. So by releasing it publicly, it could interfere with.
Oh my God, there's no such, and not that there's no such thing. Of course, there's crisis actors. Sandy Hook was a real thing. It has been proven over and over and over again. I am so sick and tired of Alex Jones followers. Alex Jones just got sued up the yin yang, and he lost his lawsuit against Sandy Hook parents. So there's that.
With the investigation. The grass is getting long, yeah. I know it sounds weird that we always talk about that, but I am wondering at what point is the dad going to have to come out? Or maybe he'll just hire someone. Yeah, the neighbor is he is the MVP, for sure.
People who lose children are allowed to smile or allowed to laugh before an interview. That doesn't make them fake or phony. Just because they're not crying 100% all the time doesn't make them phony. People are allowed to have moments. Even when they just lost their child, they're still allowed to have moments.
So someone's asking anything happening over at Fort DeSoto. I haven't heard anything. I know Dog was over there again, but there are really no new updates from there that we know of. Someone's asking me to show the backyard, so I can do that later. The neighbor, like our neighbor friend, said that we can go in his backyard. He actually set up like a ladder for me down there the other day, so if I wanted to look over the fence, but I can have him bring that out again later. Someone's asking if the neighbors across the street moved. I don't think so. You see, that's Fox News over there. That's the neighbor's house. The neighbors that only talk to Fox News. And I'm pretty sure they're still there. It looks the same as it did on Friday, and their garage is open. So. Yeah, some of you, if you guys have any questions specifically, you can always DM me. I try to read them all. I have a ton, but I went through a bunch this weekend, so. I haven't tried talking to Cassie.
Yeah, this is like boring me. There's nothing new at all. Seems like they want something to be new, but there's just nothing new. Let's see. As far as what makes this case so wonderful or so big, in my opinion, is it started not big at all. I got hiccups. It started very small. But all you need is one influencer to pick up a case and boom, it'll go viral. That's what I think happened with this. It's just it went viral because
Bye, Mom.
hold on, take out the garbage in the sink.
Oh, the garbage in the
Yeah. And that's why it went viral. Have fun at work. He went to meet a stranger in the woods. Oh, Jacob? Yeah, Jacob was killed. They found Jacob and his dad. Jacob and his son. I'm sorry, Jacob and his dog killed next to each other a week after he went missing. They don't know if he went to meet a stranger. His dad wrote me yesterday, but he doesn't have any information. And I can't check today because Facebook is down. JB is down. It's like this case went cold right now. I don't know. See, but I don't understand either, though. Just from common sense, though, is that I don't understand why they are aren't issuing the murder charge if he is still the only person of interest. That means he definitely, in my opinion, that means he did it. Here's another case that they were talking about yesterday. This is about 22 minutes long. Sheriff Grady Judd, who was like the best sheriff I've ever seen, tell a story. There was a triple murder, and this was released today in Davenport, Florida, which is Tampa, Polk County. But I was reading about this yesterday. Hold on, I'll play it for you guys.
The final update of this triple murder from Saturday. I'm going to go down by the numbers and recount what we released Saturday and then our updates now. And as you know, this investigation's not over. It's not complete. So anything that I say is subject to modification or change at a later date. Let me just show you the book in photograph. This is the photograph we showed you Saturday. This is his current photograph of Sean Runyon. He's 39 years of age.
Doesn't even look like the same person.
It's important to start out by telling you that this is a cold-blooded, calculated, violent, murdering beast. He planned in great detail how he was going to murder these three folks that we're going to talk about in just a minute. He was currently out on a $75,000 bond out of Pennsylvania. And listen to these charges that he's out of jail on in Pennsylvania. Strangulation, endangering the welfare of children, terroristic threats with intent to terrorize another, reckless endangering of another, 2 counts, simple assault, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and harassment other than physical contact. This is all the violent charges he was out of jail on when he did this. So here's how this event all occurred. J&B Electric Company is out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They were contracted to do works for Publix Corporation in Lakeland. Sean, along with the other electricians, was living or staying in a short-term rental in Windsor Resort up in Davenport. Friday morning about 2 a.m., apparently they were working overnight, Sean gets into an argument with his supervisor. Now let me stop there to tell you that I'm going to give you the names of the 3 victims because their family gave us permission to. The 3 victims were electricians. They were wonderful family people, just solid folks. So it's Friday morning, they're at work at the construction site when apparently the supervisor, Kevin Lanzu, L-A-N-U-S-S-E-E, got on to Sean and said he's not working fast enough. Sean punched him, hit him, and fled in the work truck. Now, Sean is the half-brother to the owner of the company. The owner of the company then told him, just come home. Sean went north on highway or Interstate 75 to Cordell, Georgia. Well, he heard an advertisement on the radio at the Broken Arrow Outfitters about a big sale they were having. So he pulled in. He pulled in to buy a crossbow so he could take this crossbow back to Florida and kill the 3 victims. That's right. He started on a Friday during the daytime to orchestrate this plan by buying a crossbow in Cordell, Georgia. Then instead of going on to Pennsylvania, where his half-brother and the owner thought he was, he turned around and he came back down 75, parked the company truck at the Tampa airport, and he rented a blue Nissan Versa. Well, what's important about that? Obviously, the company truck has logos all over it. And should he have used the company truck as a getaway vehicle, it wouldn't have been too hard to find it, since it was a big white Ford F-450 with a name on the side and clearly indicative of a work truck for electricians. So he had to have him an inconspicuous vehicle. He leased this vehicle, and then he went to a local Target store in Tampa where he bought a baseball bat. Now he's got a baseball bat and he's got a crossbow, and he's putting his plan together. He comes back to the Polk County area and sleeps in the parking lot of a Walmart. We think it might have been just across the county line in the Claremont area. We're still running that down. He sleeps Friday night there, and so you see he's had a busy day. He was supposed to be working Friday morning. 2 o'clock he has a fight. He gets in the truck. He goes to Cordell. He buys the crossbow. He drives back to Tampa on Friday, rents a vehicle, and now is sleeping near the home of the victims. So why does he know where they are and their sleeping patterns? Because that's where he stayed. He knew what bedroom the victim slept in, because that was where he stayed as well. So he gets up prior to 9:44 in the morning, which is when we received the 911 call, and he drives to the Windsor Resort, and he parks 2 blocks away. He knows they're going to be in bed asleep because they've been working overnight. He knows their pattern. He's now deciding, I got a baseball bat, I got a crossbow, and as he's planning, he decides, the crossbow may be more cumbersome, so he just takes the baseball bat. He goes into the back of the house, enters through the back of the residence. His intent, as he told us in his confession, was to kill all 3 victims. He first went into Kevin Lanussi's bedroom, the supervisor, who was on the bottom floor. It's a 2-bedroom home. And he said, I went in there, Kevin was asleep. And thank God, Kevin never knew what hit him. He immediately, his quote, I went to town on his face with a baseball bat. Kevin never woke up. Kevin was hit so hard and so many times that, thank God, he wasn't aware of what was occurring to him. He said, when I was confident that he was dead, and by the way, he wasn't. He is the one that survived for a few hours at the hospital, but he was unconscious, obviously, the entire time. The only reason he made it to the hospital was great paramedics, because he coded on the way to the hospital and they were able to get a heartbeat back. So then he goes upstairs to the second victim's bedroom. Second victim is Dulon Donnell. They knew him as Dew, from Baltimore, Maryland. He was asleep in bed, covered up. And he said, I beat Dew in the head until I was confident that he was done. And then he went in the bedroom of the third victim, and this is all by his statements to us. of Greg Dolezal, Dolezal, who's from Akron, Ohio. He said, and I closed the door, and that must have woke Greg up because Greg fought with him. And he said, I started hitting him with a bat. Greg fought back, so I took my knife out and started stabbing him. And he repeatedly stabbed him. They fought upstairs, and then Greg was able to come downstairs onto the front porch where he collapsed and died. There was a fourth victim who survived. He was struck in the back and the shoulder area but he was struck one time. The suspect, Sean, continued to focus on the three people. He never said he wanted to kill the fourth one, but he hit him, I guess, for good measure while he was there. Our suspect then fled from the residence back to his vehicle and ended up on an obscure street in Lake Wales, Florida, talking to an obscure person. Well, we've sorted that out. This obscure person is a Publix employee who we're not going to release his identity. And the Publix employee got to meet him while he was on the construction site, and he was going to do some tile work for this Publix employee. He knew where he lived, and that's how he showed up at his house in Lake Wales. He had blood on him. So the Publix employee said, what happened? He said, well, I was in a fight. And he says, and I was raped. And the Publix employee gave him a cloth to help clean up and then said, you need to go to the hospital. And he did. Thank goodness we have this absolutely wonderful community we live in who understand the community must help. And our person from Lake Wales immediately called 911 to express what occurred and said, I sent the guy to the hospital. Well, the guy went to the hospital, went to Lake Wales Hospital. And that's where we arrested him and took him into custody. He confessed to us multiple times through the day. He told us he was raped, that those three guys did a train on him, and he hated all three of them. Well, we gave him sexual battery test, and I want to underscore that there is absolutely, unequivocally, zero evidence to confirm what our just outrageous, violent beast of a human being did. What we saw was three electricians, three family men, three folks that were here working and doing a really good job so that they could support their family and their children. What we saw here was three victims, three men, three electricians, with children. At least two of the three had children. Dew had a little girl as young as 4 years of age. We also know that Kevin had children as well, and they're gone. They don't get to see their children grow up. Dew will never have a chance to walk his daughter down the aisle when she gets married, or see his grandchildren. The little 4-year-old girl will have to grow up without a dad. These were good people who traveled across the country to do work, and they were met by this evil, evil person. So at the end of the day, the case is solved. He's in jail. I understand people have a right to bail, But it does occur to me, if he'd still been locked up for his May arrest in Pennsylvania, we would have these fathers, these good men, alive and working and with their family today. I told you about other victims. There was also a 7-year-old in the house at the time this occurred with her father, who's another one of our witnesses, and his wife. None of them were physically injured. So there were a total of 7 in the house when the attack began. His 3 targets were viciously murdered. They were the focus. That's who he went after. Instead of having time to calm down from his rage when the supervisor chastised him, he only got worse over the next 24 hours to when he actually executed his homicidal plan about 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Are there any questions?
He seemed like a ticking time bomb to me because he was strangling his significant other back in Pennsylvania. You know, obviously that was never resolved, and it just seems like this is an extension of that uncontrolled anger. What do you say?
Obviously, you had an anger management problem. We saw violent acts against his family, people that were very special to him back in May, or allegedly special to him. And we see that he not only fought with and hit his supervisor on the job, but then when the boss, who by the way is his half-brother, says, "Come home," he makes it to Cordell when he goes, they're having a sale here at the Outfielders. That's where I'll get my crossbow to go back and murder them. He planned to murder them the entire time after he left.
And I know you said that he confessed several times. Can you just describe one more time his demeanor while he told these events? Did it seem like he may have been on drugs, or?
He was totally cooperative. He clearly, by his own admission, had used cocaine and marijuana in the past. He said he was of clear mind when this event occurred. However, we have evidence to indicate to us that he had cocaine and marijuana in his system. He was in a rampage. 3 or more people are considered a mass murder. He had a pre-designed plan to viciously murder these folks.
He had plenty of time, seems like, to change his mind, slip it off and did it anyway.
Yes, sir. He had plenty of time to change his mind. Instead, he spent all of that time preparing his plan. What we believe he was going to do is commit the murder, escape, take the rental car back, get in his vehicle, and go, I was on my way to Pennsylvania. I don't know what happened back there. Like, that would be hard to figure out.
Did he ever say why he ended up in Lakeville?
Yes, because he had met this Publix employee at the job site and had agreed to do some tile work in his home. So that's why I think he's, on drugs then. I mean, he shows up on Saturday morning unexpected, bloody. He knew where he lived because he was going to do tile work for him. And that's when the Publix employee says, whoa. Oh, and he said that when he said he was raped, he said, they won't do that again. That's as close as he got to a confession to that witness. But at the end of the day, this is bizarre. And my heart goes out to the victims. You know, murdering someone is never, ever acceptable. But when you viciously attack 3 people who were in bed sleeping with a baseball bat, and there is home video, and we can see the obvious bend of the bat where he hit them that hard. At least 2 of the 3 victims never knew. They were hit that hard initially and in repetition that many times. But our 3rd victim fought. He fought for his life. And when he couldn't get the best of our 3rd victim with a baseball bat, he pulled a knife out and started stabbing him and cut him to death. It not only makes me angry, it makes this community angry. And it makes us angry on all fronts, not just the cold, calculated murder, but leaving those children and those families without their loved one who simply was halfway across the country, away from their family, working to make a living for them. Something that we all get up and go to work every day to take care of our family. That's what they were doing. And on Saturday morning, after working at night, he knew they would be vulnerable. He knew they would be asleep. He knew he could take out this vicious attack without opposition because they would be sleeping. And that's what he did.
The supervisor you got to fight with, did he say why he targeted the other 2 people?
No, he didn't, other than this fictitious rape story of his, which was his excuse, but you know and I know that just is not correct.
Do we know how long they were here before this happened?
No, I don't know how long they've been working on the job here, but we do know he, as recently as May, had been arrested up north. Okay? Thank you all very much. That should be, like I said, our last.
I love Chef Grady. If you ever really want to watch a good presenter of true crime, he is probably one of the best sheriffs I've ever seen do press conferences. He just brings you in. Like, he's one of these people you just don't even get bored with. You just watch him. He's a great storyteller. So on that note, though, I realize that I am out of crinkle paper and I need it for sending out some orders. So I have to run to Party City and I got to order more online. But right now I have to go to Party City to get some. So I'm going to get off here. But if anything new comes up, you guys know I will be around. And that's it. Thank you for spending the afternoon. Hopefully we get some answers. And one thing I do want to address, a question that was asked in comment. Yeah, he won't get bail again. He can't. Once you commit a felony on bail, you can't get bail again. Your bail is revoked. But it's just sick. Oh, has a guy been convicted in court? No. He just got, this all just happened. This press conference was brand new today. But he was arrested on Saturday, I believe, but he admitted to it. That's why he's not using allegedly. The guy gave a full confession. That's why he doesn't have to use allegedly, because he's usually really good with that too. Grady is awesome. I love him. So, all right, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day, and that's it. Peace out. And hit that like and subscribe button. I got in my 55 pounds of wax that I was waiting 2 weeks for. So Wednesday, I'm going to we'll do some sales on